What time are these awards?
Oh, guys, you're going to be able to see this line.
I'm so sorry.
And we get 8 by 10 blocks per rectangle, 8 by 10 blocks. Printed glossy. Back in the old days.
Hello, how are you?
Tonight we're fortunate to have Oswald Academy as our highlight school, and leading our pledge of allegiance to the flag will be Bradley Corn. Bradley, could you come up?
Everyone rise. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bradley. Nice job. Next, I have a closed session report. I have one thing to report out. The Board of Education of Berlin Unified School District approved a settlement of claim number 102616 in the amount of $233,000. It was a motion by Donna Friedman and a second by Carrie Chen. The vote by the board was as follows. Lynn Evenkamp, yes. Carrie Chen, yes. Donna Friedman, yes. David Malkin, yes. And Angelina Pride, yes. Now, we're going to have a good time now. We're going to go to board recognitions. We have quite a few of them. First of all, though, I'd like to thank Stanley G. Oswald Academy, the students, parents, and the staff and community members for providing refreshments tonight. So thank you, Oswald Academy. Mrs. Healy, would you take over this part?
My pleasure to announce many awards tonight. And so just to get us started for protocol, I'm going to read off the award and then I'm going to announce who gets it. And then we will have a photo opportunity. So after that, we will just go through all of them like that way. So our first award, our first recognition tonight is with, for Mr. Lou Perez. He's in the audience. If you could come up, please. To recognize a man who has reached out to support Yovita Elementary students. Mr. Louis Perez runs a personal foundation that supports students, particularly those who may face struggles and hardship. As a successful business owner, Mr. Perez believes in giving back. This past December, 2 students, Inelli Cabrera and Antonio Young, along with their parents, attended the 13th annual Louis Perez Foundation dinner and award ceremony at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Both students received gift cards in the amount of $1,500, and the school received 10 Chromebooks valued at over $10,000. Mr. Perez has a special connection with Roland as he is the son-in-law of retired Principal Dave Carnello and retired Assistant Superintendent Bob Works. Please join me in thanking Mr. Lou Perez for his continued support of the students at Yovita Elementary School. I believe two students are here. If they could come up as well, you know, when you can join us. And so we can name our principal. Congratulations and thank you, Mr. Perez.
Make you honorary members of CHIP.
recognition, if I can have Carl Flores come forward. I'm proud to announce Carl Flores is the Rotary Four-Way Speech Contest winner. Carl Flores is a vibrant,
Take a picture.
He's a vibrant young man who seeks every opportunity to take risks and to give back to his community. This year he has participated in multiple speech contests to convey his message, is president of the UNICEF Club, and always ready to represent noble pride at all school events. Carl Flores is a dynamic speaker who captures his audience through his poise, animated personality, and ability to create a shared understanding with his audience. At the club level Rotary Four-Way Speech Contest on February 27th, his passion to serve humanity flourished as he shared his personal experiences and fresh perceptions of what it means to service above all. He engaged and captured his audience that he left no doubt that he was deserving of taking first place. Carl is not afraid to take risks and to fail, and as he sees failure, unless he's done something greater. He is passionate about everything that he does. This kid is going places. We wish Carl Flores the best as he advances to the next level of competition for the Rotary Four-Way Speech Contest. Next, I would like the members of the Oswald STEM Club to come forward. And do we have our teacher Rita? Looks like one of the kids. I'm here. Bishop High School held their annual math competition for 6th through 8th grade students. These students completed 16 free algebra, geometry, and problem-solving questions in 60 minutes. Oswald had 25 7th and 8th graders from their after-school STEM club compete against more than 600 students from 29 private and public schools. Under the instruction of Dr. Lisa Buckmeyer, Oswald's 7th grade team received 3rd place overall, and their 8th grade team placed 3rd place overall. A 1st place trophy was awarded to the highest performing school in Division B based on the test scores from 6th to 8th grade. Finally, Mayor Eric Mong received the individual 1st place medal for Oswald with 50 out of 60 questions correct. Congratulations to our students and to the champion. From our 7th grade team, we have Shannon Capistrano, Justin Chung, Jeffrey Ming Jang, Bryce Kwan, Joshua Merrill, Christian Milligan, and Akash Sami, Apollo T, and Natalie T. I'm sorry, Alicia Tran. 8th graders, we have Elisa Tran, Katie Ayang, Joaquin Castanon, Frederick Funk, Allison Keto, Kalish Kathari, Bradley Kwan, Angela Legaspi, Luciano Lim, Eric Long, Camille Ning, Catherine No, Teresa Samara, James Soriano. That was it. Congratulations to our Oswald students. While we're taking photos, I would just like to point out that in our LCAP, our Local Control Accountability Plan, Goal 6 has a piece about celebrating our accomplishments. I just want to point out that this is another accomplishment for us. The Math Counts competition series is the only competition program of its kind with 5 in-person events in all 50 states and schools worldwide throughout the U.S. Department of Defense and State Departments. The competition series is ideal for students who have a talent and a passion for math who need to be challenged. Students engage in exciting contests in which they compete against or alongside other bright, motivated students. At the local, state, and national level, students win hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships and prizes each year. The Alvarado Math Counts team, led by teacher Mrs. Linda Kim, won first place at the LA County Regional Competition on February 25, 2017. The team will now move on to the state competition at UC Irvine. Individual awards include the countdown round, Rachel Chan first place, and Timothy Chu second place. Individual sprint target round, Brian Lai second place. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Kim and the Alvarado Math Counts team on their outstanding accomplishment. The members of the team are Rachel Chan, Brian Lai, Timothy Chu, David Bagazzo, Eric Sun, Joseph Sang, Junior, Ford, and Erica Lodenkai. Congratulations to our Math Counts team. Congratulations, Alvarado. We can have March, see you again. Come up. March. There you are. Key Club International is an organization comprised of multi-state districts, divisions, and individual key clubs on high school campuses around the world who bring destinations. Marcia, an 11th grade student from RHS, has been elected to serve as Lieutenant Governor of Division 35 East for the upcoming 2017-18 term. We are proud to announce Marcia Gam, an 11th grade student from RHS, as the new Lieutenant Governor of Division 35 East for the 2017-18 term. The Lieutenant Governor is elected to lead and represent a single division in the district, serving as the liaison between individual high school clubs, the division, and the district board. The role of Lieutenant Governor is no easy task, as they must visit each of the clubs they serve, publishing a monthly divisional newsletter, hold regular division council meetings, and keep in contact with Salonis counterparts. We commend March for his commitment to this position and know that he will serve passionately and diligently. And just so you know, he had to get elected by all of the different high schools that participate in our district, so he had to actually campaign and be elected. Congratulations.
I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. I feel fine all of the time. Abuga, 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 abuga.
If I could have the members of the Roland High School Academic Decathlon team and their coach and their principal come forward. After months of preparation, the RHS Academic Decathlon team was awarded for their hard work at the Los Angeles County Academic Decathlon Banquet held early February. The team of 9 earned a total of 13 individual medals, 7 gold medals, 2 silver medals, 4 bronze medals, and they medaled in almost every category of the competition. The team also earned a team bronze medal and third place trophy in the Super Quiz in the second division. Overall, the RHS team placed 19th out of 43 schools that participated in this year's competition. Please join me in congratulating Advisor Kim Will and the Roland High School Academic Decathlon team for their outstanding accomplishments. Our team consists of Evangeline Balsita, Alan Dye, Alvin Dye, Ryan Koo, Christopher Lee, Thomas Lee, Derek Leon, Eleni Roldan, and Christy Tran. Congratulations to our If I can have our future business leaders of America from Roland High School come forward. For future business leaders of America, Roland High School's FBLA chapter is in its fourth year. The chapter began with 10 students and now has 78 members. In February, 52 members competed at the 7-section competition at Biola University with 22 other schools and 800 students. Roland placed fourth in the sweepstakes award and had 21 students qualified to compete at the state competition. The following students are recognized for their outstanding achievement, and they will be attending the state competition in Sacramento. Please join me in recognizing the Roland High School FBLA for their outstanding achievement, specifically Vicky Shu, 4th place in marketing, Ben Guo, 4th place in marketing, Richard Tang, 4th place in marketing, Kim Camilla Wu, 3rd place word processing, Yao Ben Guo, 1st place advanced accounting, Vanessa Kwan, 2nd place advanced accounting, Wen Thomas Wong, 3rd place advanced accounting, and Semi 5th place in securities and investments. Congratulations to our FBLA. All photos are shared to principals, so parents, I'm sure they'll put them on social media. I will all the reason to follow social media. Everyone in school. Congratulations on I can have our Nogales High School wrestling team come forward. So Nogales High School wrestling. The wrestling team was led by head coach Albert Fuentes and assistant coach Franklin Lopez. For both Coach Fuentes and Lopez, this is their first year coaching the wrestling team as their top 3 boys advanced to CIF. This wrestling team was a great challenge for our nobles. This young team learned to come together, support one another, and to conquer adversity as a unit more than individuals. Nogales may have not taken lead or CIF, but Nogales wrestlers made some noise this season with some of our individuals advancing to CIF. In doing so, Nogales wrestling became known among many coaches and were watched by opponents and above all respected. But next season on the horizon, Nogales wrestlers will become the champions they strive to be. Congratulations to our Nogales High School wrestling team for an outstanding season. Tonight, Murphy's well, I shall read all off. Damian Flores, Danny Woodville, Lisbeth Flores, David Cervantes, Raylene Rosado, Michelle Gutierrez, Alondra Gonzalez Moreno, Nicolas Ferreras, Irene Felicio, John, Peyton Rubio, Miguel Ramon, Adam Maldonado, Belen Gizon, Damian Alcala, Daisy Perez, Adi Cruz, and Young Park. Congratulations. Congratulations to our wrestling teams. If I can have our Nogales girls varsity soccer team come forward. Our Nogales girls varsity soccer team. 2016-17 Nogales girls varsity soccer team had the most decorated season in the school's history, winning 14 games, drawing 4, and only losing 5 games. The success shown by this young team can be attributed to the commitment that each girls have with each other while supporting each other when faced with challenges. During the league, the girls had 7 shutouts and only allowed 3 goals in 10 games. It was truly a pleasure to be a part of this record-setting season. The team lost its first round CIF game away at Rancho Verde High School in Reno Valley by a score of 3-4, despite being without their star goalkeeper and captain senior midfielder. Although the season ends with a loss, the team will always be special because of the unique bond formed by all the players. The future is bright with our Lady Nobles. Please join me in congratulating Coach Gil Luna, assistant coach Alfonso Colmenares, and the Lady Nobles soccer team on an outstanding season. The members of the team are Renee Avila, Madeline Bird, Casey Candy, Giselle Cantero, Bianca Cordoza, Miranda Cervantes, Jacqueline Gaten, Selena Gonzalez, Jackie Gonzalez, Alyssa Gutierrez, Alexander Irigoyen, Amanda Lopez, Valerie Madrigal, Marlene Perez, Desiree Preciado, Ashley Rodriguez, Priscilla Ruiz, Genesis Sandoval, and Emily Velasquez. Congratulations to our nobles. Karen, you want to come forward for photos? You want another one? Oh, they heard about that Twitter handle here. If I can have the Nogales High School boys varsity soccer team. CIF Division 6 after having won the Mountain View League Championship undefeated with 9 wins and 1 tie. They completed their best season in the past 2 years at the CIF Division 6 quarterfinal playoffs after an exciting, thrilling 0-0 tie in regulation and overtime. Unfortunately, the team would go on to lose their playoffs and penalty kicks. The boys soccer team finished the season with a 17-win, 4-loss, 4-ties record, allowing 25 goals in 25 games and having one of the best offensive wins scored with 70 goals. Congratulations to the Nogales soccer program for an outstanding season. The member of the team includes Miguel Aguilar, Leonardo Guerrero, Jose Garcia, Luis Perez, Anthony De La Rosa, Edgar Ramos, Gabriel Chino Castillo, Jonathan Ortiz, Jonathan Arias, Daniel Gonzalez, Giovanni Santillan, Joshua Florencio, Ivan Arellano, Enrique Garniquez, Ricky Gutierrez, Roger Salazar, Kevin Mancia, Andrew Terracazo, Nogales High School varsity boys basketball team. The boys basketball team, please. We're trying to get to the soccer wrestlers and and assistant coach TJ Campbell. The coaches led the team to the first playoff win for Nogales basketball team in 6 seasons. I'm sorry, my also assistant coach. The varsity boys basketball team earned the program's first playoff berth in 3 years, defeating Baker High School by a score of 81-74 in the first round of the CIS Central Section playoffs. This was the first playoff win for the Nogales basketball season in 6 seasons, led by team captains Gabriel Sanchez, Michael Romero, and Jill Batok. The varsity boys basketball team has built a strong foundation. Further growth and success is on the horizon as the majority of the team will be returning next season. The Nogales are poised for another great week. Please join me in congratulating the Nogales High School boys varsity basketball team for their outstanding season. The members of the team are Gabriel Sanchez, Michael Romero, Jill Batok, Joshua Moreno, Rochelle Levi, Jordan Frazier, Latron Fergea, Michael Romero, Matthew Frazier, Javon Morea, Joseph Flores, Pablo Batok, Joshua Balayut, Kevin Pergado, Brandon Wynn, Christian Flores, and Kelly Aquino. Congratulations to the Nogales High School. Several schools from Southern California participated in this annual event in which multiple awards and prizes were given. The Color Guard also won third place in competition in the same parade, while Dorothy Lee won the Sweepstakes Award for Drum Major. The special award crosses all age level groups, including high school students. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Shota Horikawa, band director, and wait, Mr. Alvarado Marching Matadors, Color Guard, and Dorothy Lee on their outstanding performance. The following band and guard representatives have joined us tonight to receive recognition on behalf of their group: Valerie Chow, Mo Kanamori, Maggie Liu, Dorothy Lee, Brandon Lee, Eric Mai, Cassandra Luna, Jason Fawn, Alex Medina, Elijah Alvarez, Emily Chirong, and Isaiah Cruz. Congratulations to the Alvarado Band. Mr. Kevin Ace, we should do the photo, please. Yes. Our new principal is going to learn the rules very soon. You'll get to be in the photo. tennis team come forward, please? Our Lady Raider tennis team. The Lady Raider tennis program at Bowling High School has continued its success under leadership of Coach McGowan and Coach Lynn. The team worked extremely hard throughout the year and refused to settle for anything less than their best. This resulted in a playoff berth and numerous awards received by the Lady Raiders. It's not only an honor but a privilege to announce the following student athletes who earn the following recognitions. The 2016 first team All-San Gabriel Valley Tribune for tennis doubles, Bella Ladeau and Sabrina Leal. The 2016 San Gabriel Valley Tribune Honorable Mention for tennis singles, Megan Wang and Diana Ma. Look at all that paparazzi.
Gotta make it fun.
Congratulations to our tennis team. And I feel like I accomplished goal 6 tonight.
That's what these guys do. They come, they eat the cookies and leave.
We're going to take a 5-minute recess.
We're going to reset the room and close these doors, so if you're staying for our meeting and we come in this room, that would be fantastic. Yay! We needed the adults. Yes.
Thanks for acknowledging I'm fantastic.
I know you. Baby.
John, this side here. Fantastic people this way, duds the other way.
No, I have an award coming.
And they got 2 Jolly Ranchers over there. Okay, folks, a little live disruption there. Sorry about that. Yeah.
What's the photographer's name in high school?
I have no idea.
Redheaded, kind of facing this way.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I used to know the name, but I can't recall it.
Okay, guys, the question is, are we going to go to live part 2? I think I'm going to change camera lens. Okay, folks, I'm going to change camera lens here on the other camera, so we'll hope it won't disrupt things too much. Maybe on the live there we can take a... Okay. So we're going to record there.
Okay, close this door right here behind you.
Good. Good. Yourself?
Okay, live people. Now this is entirely different view here.
We have our own little group now.
Okay, we're back. We had a little camera lens change there. We're going to see how this is going to go. We want to make sure our live situation.
Okay, we're ready to restart, so we're not here all night. I'd like to introduce somebody from Oswald Academy tonight. His name is Bradley Kwan. Bradley, would you come forward? And with Bradley is Kevin Biscoe, Oswald Academy's principal.
Good evening. As some of you may know, my name is Bradley Kwan, and I'm Oswald Academy's current ASB president. And today I came here to inform you about what makes our school a fantastic school. So I'll be starting with a poem about our school and be ending with some highlights from this year. If your mind be sharp and for cause be bold, there's only one school for you, fair and mighty Oswald. We convene in wood and walnut, where life is suited to learning. Our goals are clear and all cut, no need for mere yearning. Oswald represents all, from honors to Ivy. Never let it be said that our goals are not lofty. If your head proves suitable for deep inquiry, our work will surely do you no injury. Oh, great Oswald, so proficient in tech. When you call upon great thinkers, so many come to them. In just a few short years, Apple laptops have become flattered, applied to serious work, not idle pattern. Activities for students, Oswald offers such a wealth. Wonders for both physical and mental health. So make no mistake that it's all dry lecture. That would be illustrating an entirely wrong picture. We have sports, we have cheer, and even STEM and band. So students never need fear to try their hand. PTSA helps make Oswald great. On this, we need no further debate. Spirit days and field trips across the land, the liveliness of Oswald will never go bland. We cannot say enough kind things to our wonderful staff who teach us English, science, and history and math. And finally, a word of acknowledgement to Dr. Despard, whom all of us hold in highest regard. So I would also like to inform you about Oswald's events that occurred this year. So recently, the 6th grade completed their exhibition projects. This particular project was collaborative and allowed for communication skills, and it allowed students to portray the IB attributes that teachers try to show their students to follow. So each group focused on a global problem and presented ways to stop and even prevent those problems. Also, recently, Oswald had Founders Day, which allowed an opportunity for teachers and staff to be recognized for their hard work on Oswald's campus. We were also very fortunate to have been at the RUSD showcase and exhibit our school's programs and answer curious parents' questions about our school. Lastly, I'd like to emphasize that our STEM club, which was started in 2014, has progressed greatly. Our school participated in the Bishop Lamont math competition, which we celebrated, where we won 4th overall best school out of an impressive number of around 30 schools. Also, very recently, a selected team of STEM team members participated in the Science Olympiad event at Occidental College. Despite that we were mostly unprepared, we competed in many events and scored very well. So overall, it is evident that the students of Oswald Academy are truly proud to be well-rounded. Thank you for your time.
What grade are you in? You're an 8th grader? Did you write the poem? You did? It was beautiful. Thank you. Dr. Mitchell, would you please give the superintendent's report?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I just wanted to acknowledge a few events that have happened this past week. So we had Principal for a Day on March 8th, and I would like to thank our local community and business leaders who spent the day with us in our schools as a Principal for a Day. And this day serves as a unique opportunity for these individuals to see the day-to-day operations of a school campus, visit classrooms, and participate in a scholarships award luncheon honoring students from Roland, Hacienda La Puente, and Bassett Unified, as well as the La Puente Valley ROP. This year, Principal for a Day was hosted and run by our La Puente Valley ROP, and we have our La Puente Valley ROP staff is here with us in the back in the audience, some more Morbito and John Howie. So thank you very much. Excellent event. We had our RUSD Music Festival this past Saturday. We had the opportunity to hear fabulous music at Nogales High School. And it was students from our elementary, intermediate, and high school level. As you know, Roland Unified supports Music for All by providing music education weekly to all students in grades 1 through 6 as part of their school day. And being able to see those students as they will potentially progress from elementary to intermediate to high school was outstanding on Saturday night. We also were in the middle of our LCAP community feedback survey and community meetings. So we've launched our community feedback survey to give parents, employees, students, and our community the chance to provide feedback about district programs, initiatives, and resources. The information will be used to build or refine our local control accountability plan for 2017 to 2020 school years. To take the online survey, you can visit our district website, as well as visit in person for an in-person community input meeting, which will be scheduled on March 21st, has been scheduled, March 21st at Nogales High School from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the multi-purpose room. Also wanted to make sure that everyone had on their calendar the IB Student Art Exhibition, which will be held March 23rd at the Roland Heights Community Center. The community is invited to an evening of art, music, and food at the International Baccalaureate Student Art Exhibition on Thursday, March 23rd from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Roland Heights Community Center. The event showcases the artistic talent of 13 seniors from Nogales and Roland High School's International Baccalaureate Visual Arts program. A giant gallery will feature their solo exhibits displaying 8 to 11 pieces that they have created over the past 2 years in a large variety of mediums, including drawing, painting, digital media, and arts and sculpture. Also wanted to let everyone know that the Roland Adult and Community Education will be holding their annual open house on Wednesday, March 29th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. in recognition of Adult Education Week. So the community is invited to visit classes in session, speak to current instructors, view classroom displays made by students about various courses. This year, the Roland Adult celebrates 46 years of serving our community with a wide range of adult educational services for our community. And lastly, I would like to thank the many donors who have provided funding to the Roland Unified School District for very specific purposes and programs that our board will be approving tonight on the consent agenda. As mentioned earlier in Principal for a Day, held on March 8th, there are 6 donors tonight where the board is receiving their donations, and those funds donated go directly to student scholarships. So I want to recognize our donors. Thank you very much.
Next, we have our high school representatives. Leah Kawachi is the ASB Speaker of the House from John Rowland High School. Your first step.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, and members of the audience. I am Leah Kawachi, and I'm the student representative for Roland High School. Last month, we ended our month with our Renaissance Assembly. The theme was Star Wars. This event is to recognize students for academic achievement, receiving a 2.5 GPA or higher from the first semester, or a 0.5 GPA boost with no Ds or Fs. We recognize them with academic achievements, entertainment, cheer, class dances, and a special guest from AJ Raphael, a YouTube singer. The following week, we went straight into prom promotional pictures. So selected juniors and senior boys were taken to California Science Center, and they went to take pictures and then got to see the venue, and we will make that into a collage and make it into posters around campus. Junior prom court voting is tomorrow during lunch. Class of 2018 students may vote for 3 junior girls and 3 junior boys to represent their class. And then the seniors will vote next Monday during their senior event, which is Marshmallow. So we'll serving free Rice Krispies, marshmallows, strawberries, bananas, and then they can dip it into like chocolate and like a chocolate fountain. And celebrate our last months as seniors. And tomorrow is Kick Butt Stick, so we will be informing the students about consequences of drug usage and makes like some fun slogans for students to remember to stay away from drugs. Next Tuesday, March 21st, we have our IBA blood drive, and this is our community service for the month. Students and staff may donate blood to City of Hope. And then the following, so last Monday we had our spring dance fashion show. This gave students ideas of possible outfits to wear. And the theme is Spring Fest, so it's tying in with like a music festival kind of culture. It will take place on March 24th, and we are actually doing something new. We will have guest passes this year, so students may bring in any students they know from other schools, and they can really unite our student bodies together. At the end of the month, we have our Battle of the Classes. So this is where students have friendly competition with the other classes and playing games, and then there will be entertainment. We'll start at around 5 with food trucks outside the parking lot, and then we'll have like face painting in like our hideout, and then we'll have our events start at 7 p.m. So there's like good 2-hour prep time for students to get excited and pumped up, buy some food. Okay, so we had our ASB campaign week last week. So students got to run for positions of member at large, executive board, the class officer positions. And this week is election week. So yesterday we had our e-board do speeches on the stage outside, and then it will continue for the rest of the week. So I'm going to be leaving soon. And then for our athletics and performing arts, we started our spring sports this season. We'll have a spring sports rally this Friday on the outdoor stage representing the spring sports, and then we'll have captains and games. It'll be like good to show the students like what's happening, what's coming up. School's not over yet. Our school musical will showcase this Friday. It's opening night. It's called Susical the Musical. It is a student production, and we are involving our various departments at school. So there's theater, of course, and then we have art club and choir. So we're tying in 3 different departments, which is really cool. This Friday and Saturday we'll have a Artist Alley and art show. So Artist Alley is a creative outlet for students who are in art club and the art classes to showcase their art and sell it off and show like different styles of art too. And they will have food trucks as well. It's only one, but it's really cool. It's fluff ice, so it's cool dessert. And then on Friday night, there's an art show at the Pathfinder Park Community Center, and it is collaborative with Diamond High School, and they will also be bringing art too. So it's cool to bring together our 2 schools. And that concludes my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leah. Next from Nogales High School, we have Laura Martinez, ASB Executive President.
Good evening, Madam President, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, members of the Cabinet, and members of the audience. My name is Laura Martinez, and I'm here tonight to represent Nogales High School. Although the school year is almost coming to an end, Nogales continues to work hard. In celebration of Black History Month, each day in February, nobles have honored an African American hero. all those interested in history, culture, music, and social issues of an African American and people of color. There is a Brothers and Sisters in Unity Club that will be holding meetings to learn more about this topic. Nogales has also decided to spread the love, not only on February 14th to the Valentine Grounds, but as well as throughout the school for the majority of the month. February is the month of love, and in inspiration of that, ASB has declared 2 weeks dedicated to Love Week. Leadership has, through Spirit Week, lunchtime activities, and posters spread positivity and happiness around the campus. Our clubs at school have remained busy at work by fundraising yearbook, photos, and holding more club events. The UNICEF Club has held a week-long lunchtime activity to discuss the largest humanitarian crisis of our time, Syria. There are 6 million children in Syria that are in desperate need of water, food, education, and protection from violence. Together, they are bringing awareness to many about the Syrian refugee crisis. The students of Nogales High are excited for the next year and have already begun registering for their electives and rigorous courses. For those that are still unaware about the courses that they should take, there is the ASVAP Career Exploration Program that is offering a free career assessment. The 2017 Miss Nogales pageant has recently passed, and the Senior Noble contestants Carl Flores, Ryan Ramos, Adam Sosa, David Huerta, Ivan Martinez, and Juan Camacho shared their special talents that night. Everyone had an amazing time watching their performances as they competed for the title of Miss Nogales, as well as a scholarship up to $500. The first place winner was Juan Camacho, following him was Adam Sosa, and finally David Huerta. These boys did an incredible job, just as great as the girls' soccer, who had an excellent season. They finished their season with 14 wins. The boys' varsity baseball team has been doing well also. They had an astounding victory over Santiago High School in Roland. Our Lady Noble softball team also did very well, and they had their own victory against Edmonton. These Nobles are off to a good start. Even though season has been hard, events like the Poetry Club and Art Department Show, as well as the Spring Fling, which is coming up this week on Saturday, March 18th, Nobles are finally able to take a break. For more information about our school, anyone can go on to nogalestimes.news. Here you'll find more information on school, sports, entertainment, world news, and school events. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. I should mention that tonight we're missing the Santana High School representative. Her name is Crystal Benhana Pilo, who is the ASB president. So hopefully she'll be back with us next month. Next we go to written requests to address the board. We have one tonight. Roy Humphreys.
Okay, first of all, for all the academic achievers and the teachers, and especially the parents, previously, I'll give them kudos on that. But coming back to business, because that's what it's all about, once again, I applaud the board for taking the swamp preservation to a new level, and I apologize for myself having the audacity, temerity, and in a gall to question the purity of the swamp, in that in 2013, we had no less than 3 PhDs on the Bond Oversight Committee, to include Ted Levenkamp, Kim Morris, and Nimish Ladawab, I'm saying his name wrong, and a certified public accountant on the board. So therefore, how could there possibly be anything wrong with the monies and have any audit problems, so forth? Yes, we even had Robert Worst, Dr. Robert Worst, who was reported to this reporter that these constituents are actually too stupid to do what's best for them. How could you fail 2 audits in a row? How can you do wrong? And by ignoring the 2008 fact map reports, which stated the Roland Unified School District was a technological wasteland, and those managing the district made helter-skelter avant-garde. Yes, the core values is an esoteric figment of the imagination of this district, meaning nothing, while districts around them are falling like dominoes, as would RUSD, but for the lack of a forensic audit. And if you haven't read Richard Michael's dissertation on the Walnut Valley School District from 2015, you're really missing out. He did a very scholarly presentation on that, which leads one, if you read his study, you say, why aren't those people in jail? And also noting that in the state of Florida, the violation of public trust can be prosecuted as a felony. Now, knowing that terminal apathy, which is around us everywhere, I must oppose the re-election of 3 board members coming up in the next election cycle, in that the members put core values in the rearview mirror, where I put core values along with truth and integrity first and foremost. And not to mention that last week, Superintendent Mitchell told me that, well, we don't want this meeting, meaning the ALCAP meeting, being recorded. And this is a public meeting. It tells and amplifies the need for institutional restructuring as per retired Secretary of Defense Robert Gates. And lastly, as I drove up to the Roland High School, that marquee out there is just straight up ghetto land and needs to be replaced post haste. And as to audits, this district and others all around us have gone through performance audits ad nauseum, and they passed. And now look around us and see how many of them are having.
Thank you, Mr. Humphries.
To be continued.
Okay, we'll move on to item 8A, the 2015-16 Measure R 2006 and Measure R 2012 General Obligation Bonds Financial and Performance Audit. It's a mouthful. Alex, do you want to introduce our speaker? Oh, I'm sorry. Before you start speaking, I need to get a motion. Sorry. Can I have a motion to review and accept the 2015-16 Measure R 2006 and Measure R 2012 General Obligation Bonds, Financial and Performance Audit Reports as submitted by Negro and Negro PC?
I make a motion.
And the discussion will be our speaker, and then we can ask questions and then vote after.
And we're very fortunate to have the president from Niagara and Jeff Niagara that will be giving a presentation on the audit, the war audit.
Great, Madam President, members of the board, thank you for having me here tonight. So this audit I'm going to present to you tonight is actually 2 audits, as required by the California Constitution. It's an annual financial audit and a performance audit. So I'd like to briefly talk about what the difference is between those 2. A financial audit is similar to the district's annual audit that we have for the whole district, where it's an opinion on your financial statement. Only in this case, it's just an opinion of only the building fund or the bond fund. So in this audit, we are presenting what we call an unmodified opinion or a keen opinion, which basically states that these financial statements here are prepared in accordance with generally accepted accounting rules. So if you were to look at pages 4 and 5 of the audit report, you'd see what the financial statements of the 2 Measure R funds are, and this is for the 2015 fiscal year, as you noted. So here we are in March. This data is almost 9 months old, but that's what it is looking back. So as of that date, there was about 16.8 million left in the Measure R 2006 funds and about 100 million in 2012. Now, the notes to the financial statements very similar to the notes in the district's regular audit report, where we just talk about fun stuff like governmental accounting and talk about the bonds. There's a schedule in there that shows how much bonds have been issued under each measure and how much is still outstanding to be paid. There's also some disclosure in there about one of the refundings that was issued to save money, and mentions that the district saved over $10 million in debt service payments over the life of the debt by issuing that refunding. The last part of the report I want to talk about is the performance audit, and even though it's only 2 pages in this report, it's really the one area where we spend the most time in the audit process, because it involves looking at samples of expenditures. We select from expenditures throughout the year and look at the invoices, the backup documentation, contracts, purchase orders, verify that the funds were only spent on projects that were allowed by voters. We look at the procurement process, how were the bids obtained, if they go through all the proper channels, following public contract code. We visited one of the construction sites at Nagal's High to make sure that what we saw on the invoices was really happening out there in the real world, and not just on paper. And happy to report the report's clean. We had one audit finding, and it's not anything new because it's something that's reported in your annual audit as well. So that's it. You guys can take any questions you have.
Are there any questions for it?
Just a couple. I noticed in the very beginning, you cite the Bond Oversight Committee.
Yes.
And that we have a vacancy, a business representative on that committee. Is there a plan to fill that position, and how long has it been vacant?
Could be deferred to
So I'm going to defer to Alex. So yes, there's a plan, and I'll let Alex explain.
One of the issues with the business owner, in the current bylaws, it requires for the business owner to reside and also have the business within the attendance area. We had some interest. We had actually one individual that, when the vacancy came up, was interested in the position, but he did not qualify because he didn't reside in the attendance area. We're under review of the bylaws, and actually I'm hopeful at this next CBOC meeting we'll have the final revisions so that we can make a presentation to the board and the April board meeting for approval, for your approval of the bylaws, which would have the changes for that requirement.
And could you just real briefly, you said it was, it was in previous reports, but the 14% cumulative versus individual, just a 1 or 2 sentence finding.
Right. Well, there's a section of the public contract code which specifies that change orders cannot exceed 10% of the original contract. There's some differences of opinion in the professional world as to how that's interpreted, whether it's 10% of the total cumulative cost of all change orders combined, or whether it's per individual change order. We've taken the approach that it's the limit applies to the cumulative total. And so we had this one contract where the cumulative change orders came to almost 15% of the original contract cost. But after speaking with the district about it, they have legal counsel who basically supports that this is not a problem. So
The position of our legal counsel is that the change order is per change order. And this is, and also the previous auditor also had this, also believe this. This is the reason why the 10% was actually, the threshold was hit maybe 3 years ago. So that's why it was never a finding before, and this is the first year that it is a finding.
Is there
Our
a
attorney,
if you're doing the audit for the district too?
no, the previous auditor.
Right.
Yeah. So had the same interpretation, and our legal counsel bases this on the Attorney General, because in 2003, LA Unified asked the Attorney General to do this question, and it was based upon the findings was per change order, and that's the reason why our attorney has advised us for that. But there is 2 differences of opinions, and we respect what the auditor has said.
Mr. Chen?
Will you present this to the Oversight Committee? The audit?
No, not yet.
Yes, actually, there was an invitation sent to the CBOC if they would like to come tonight to receive their report. This will also be, I received some emails saying they weren't going to make it tonight, so it will be sent to them tomorrow. And this will be presented again at the next CBOC meeting with the auditor also.
I just want to thank Mr. Peterson for devoting a lot of his time to that CBOC committee, taking it very seriously. Thank you.
I echo that.
Are there any other questions or further discussion? We have a motion on the floor. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
second interim financial report. And I need a motion to receive the second interim report and certify that the district will meet its financial obligation for the remainder of the 2016-17 fiscal year and the next two subsequent fiscal years based on financial information. And ratifying the 2016-17 second interim report as positive, the board is expressing the belief and understanding that the district will maintain financial solvency for the current and subsequent two fiscal years. May I have a motion? Second. A motion and a second. Mr. Flores, would you lead the getting ready? Okay.
She's getting ahead of herself there.
I'm catching up.
Board President Evan Camp, Board Member Dr. Mitchell, Cabinet, and audience, thank you for allowing me to make a brief presentation on the second interim report. Before I begin, I would like to thank Aubrey Craig, Director of Fiscal. He's worked diligently with his staff preparing the second interim report. I hope with this presentation that I can highlight the budget calendar, the purpose of the interim report, information from the governor's proposed budget, guidance for the multi-year projections, and variances from the first interim. The budget is a living document, and the budget cycle is a process that's constantly in motion. As you can see, we are here at the second interim report. The budget cycle has two fiscal years that are always crossing over. The governor's proposed budget in January that we attended begins the 17-18 budget development. The second interim also provides relevant information for the development of next year's budget. As we look at the checklist of required reports, we are at the midway point. The second interim is the fourth item of the required reports for the fiscal year. Next will be the 17-18 budget. How quick time flies. The second interim report is required by the California Educational Code. The second interim shows actual expenditures from July 1st, 2016 to January 31st, 2017. And projections are based on those actuals, budget activities, and other anticipated costs. This report illustrates that the district can meet its fiscal obligations for the current year and two subsequent years. In January, the governor released a proposed 17-18 budget. This budget information is used as the basis for updated projections and assumptions and estimates in current fiscal year 16-17 and the anticipated first look at the 17-18 budget allocations and assumptions we developed. It also contains minor adjustments to state LCFF funding for the current year. The governor does warn of an economy slowdown. The Department of Finance estimates a recession would cost the state $18 billion in 3 years. But there's difference of opinions with fiscal analysts. And other fiscal advisors have a difference of opinion regarding the state budget. Some believe $4 to $6 billion in state revenue is underreported in the governor's proposed budget. It is believed that the governor has not reported this money for a soft landing because of the state's commitment to the Affordable Care Act. Remember, when this came through, it was before the new administration came in, and there has to be some soft landing because California has invested in the Affordable Care Act. The governor again this year includes one-time funds. The district will receive approximately $600,000 for 17-18. This will be based on the district's 16-17 P2 attendance that is certified by the state. This year, the budget included $2.89 million of one-time funds. The proposed $600,000 is a significant reduction, but it can change in the May revise. We are all hopeful that this will happen, and this is a pattern that the governor has done in the past also. Also included in the multi-year projections are future district contributions to both STRS and PERS. This is an issue being discussed throughout the state, as the increase of STRS and PERS are having a huge impact on programs districts can offer our students. Unfortunately, the outlook for the returns of investment in pension plans have decreased, which will result in possible increase in employer contributions. For STRS, by the year 2021, employer contribution will increase from 8.25 in 13-14 to 19.1, or a 10.85%. For example, if our unrestricted certificated salary is $60 million, the increase will be $6.5 million for the district to pay in 2021. The employees' contributions have also increased from 8.15 to 10.25, and this was capped in 15-16. For PERS, the rate increase in 13-14, the rate increase from 13-14 to 2021 will be 13.48. I would like you to please note the years with the asterisk from 17-18 to 2021. The rates have increased since the first interim. In the first interim, it went from 15.5 to 15.8 in 17-18, in 18-19 from 17.1 to 18.7, in 18-19 from 18.6 to 21.6, and in 2021 from 19.8 to 24.9. If our budget for classified salary is $20 million, that 1 year increased by $1 million, at 5%. So using the same example of $20 million in classified salaries, the 13.48% increase will result in a $2.69 million additional expense by 2021 since 13-14. These are assumptions that were used in developing the second interim report that have changed since the first interim. The revised Department of Finance gap funding percentage slightly increased this year and had a 49% decrease in 17-18, followed by an increase in 18-19 by 13.5%. Also, the assumptions are increase in expenditures that were not included in the first interim, like additional instructional supplies. Remind you that large music equipment purchase, school site discretionary carryover expenses, and some staffing. This table shows the anticipated unrestricted multi-year projections based on the information known at the time preparing this report. Please note the reduction of revenue based on two factors: the decline in enrollment and reduction of one-time funds. The decrease in expenditures in 17-18 is primarily related to lower salary costs. The decrease in restricted fund balance is normal and shows the use of carryover funds. Restricted funds have a specific use and should be used the year received. Examples of the restricted funds are federal Title I and II, special education. Primarily in salaries to support the targeted students these funds support. Here with an example of an expense. Next year's textbook adoption will be funded by the restricted dollars. This table shows the adopted budget for informational use only, and also calculates changes in the projected budget from the first interim and this second interim. The increase in revenue is related to the small adjustment to the current year LCFF gap funding percentage. Although the increase to the contribution was absorbed mostly with the contribution increase to support special education encroachment. The increase in expenditures are related to additional instructional materials, supplement and conservation classified hourly positions. The ending balance has decreased by $1.9 million to $32.4 million. The ending fund balance is assigned for future possible obligations in different areas. For example, the top three: decline enrollment, $6 million; STIRS and PERS contributions, $6 million. Although I'd like to note, every year the increases are placed in the multi-year projections and instructional program. There are three different certifications in the interim report: a positive, which states a district will meet the fiscal obligations current and 2 subsequent years; qualified, the district may not meet the fiscal obligations for current and 2 subsequent years; and negative, the district will not meet fiscal obligations for current and 2 subsequent years. Because of the great leadership from our board and our superintendent, I am very happy to share that we respectfully recommend a positive certification, because the Rolling Unified School District will make all fiscal obligations this year and 2 subsequent years. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion, or does the board have any questions?
Just one quick one. On the discretionary funds, the one time, that's in the governor's budget, equal to about $48.88.
Yes.
Where it says here that contents, it's very broad on what that can be used for, I guess, because it's unrestricted. How will we determine, will there be a proposal coming forward on how to use that money, or what will happen?
At this time, if we look at the multi-year projection, that would be on slide 11. For next year, we're currently deficit spending by close to $1 million. So those funds are already incorporated into our budget. So if there were any additional funds, we would first meet that shortfall of the $1 million and see what we can use those funds for to support the goals of improving the instruction of our classrooms for our students.
Now, salaries are restricted though, right?
Salaries can be restricted and unrestricted depending upon the funding source.
Thank you.
Ms. Friedman?
What was our ADA before the $48 for the year before?
We are, if you're talking about the decline enrollment, it's around 300 students per year, or $3 million.
And why would the governor not only use one-time funds?
Well, the governor has a strategy, and it is to project low. And because if not, if he guarantees the money in Prop 98, it's guaranteed money for the following year. So if you're able to project low, as in if the May say, oh, we have extra money, and it comes at one time, then that's not guaranteed money for the following year. So it gives more discretion for the governor to be able to do things in the future. Not that we agree.
I just want to say, based on the previous presentation from Nigro and your presentation, we're fortunate to have you.
No, it's the direction of Dr. Mitchell, and we have a great staff in the fiscal department that does all this work. I'm just here making the presentation. Thank you.
I agree with that. Good job. Okay, we have a motion on the floor board. We have a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have several textbook adoptions. The first motion I need is to approve the recommendation to adopt the McGraw-Hill World of Wonders for Transitional TK students and Benchmark Advance for use with the grade TK5 students in the district beginning in August of 2017. Can I have a second?
Second.
The motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just attended my course 2 in Masters, and they gave a problem at one school district how they didn't have enough time and they were going to abstain from the vote. And I said, well, why would you abstain? I didn't understand, because our district gave us so much time to look at the textbooks, ask questions. The teachers did a lot of involvement, and yet some of those board members voted to, no, we'll put it off because we had a whole bunch of people at the, and we needed more time. And I said, but didn't your district give you lots of time like we had? So I want to thank the district, Dr. Mitchell, for giving us the opportunity to ask questions, to meet with the textbook people, to look through them all, and all the hard work that the teachers did to pick the right one. It's very interesting as how other districts do it, but we do it right. So
Thank you. We've gotten it going in the right direction. The board has had a chance to look at everything we've asked for in the past, and it worked. So, any other comments or questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Another textbook adoption, approve, approve the recommendation to adopt My Perspectives by Pearson Education as the new English language arts curriculum for students in grades 6 through 12. May I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. The next is, I need a motion to approve the project Lead the Way principles. To approve the recommendation to adopt the benchmark education Adelante for use with all grade K through 6 students in the district, Spanish dual immersion program beginning in August of 2017. May I have a motion? Second? Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Is this right? Okay, the next one is, I need a motion to approve, and I'm going to say PLTW instead of saying Project Lead the Way. So, approve the PLTW Principles of Engineering and Design course for students in grades 9 through 12. Motion?
Make a motion.
Second? Discussion?
I just want to say that this was new to me, so I looked it up, and since we didn't have a presentation here, and online when I researched it, it looks like an excellent series of career courses that's gotten pretty good write-ups.
The group did their homework, huh? Any other discussion or questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approve the PLTW Engineering Design and Development course for students in grades 6 through 12. May I have a motion? 9 through 12.
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, approve the PLTW Civil Engineering and Architecture course for students in grades 9 through 12. Can I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, approve the PLTW Computer Science Essentials course for students in grades 9 through 12. Motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I have to say PLTW is a lot easier to say. Okay, next, approve the PLTW Computer Science Course Computer Science A course for students in grades 9 through 12. Can I have a motion?
Second.
Those in favor? Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, approve the PLTW Human Body Systems course for students in grades 9 through 12. May I have a motion?
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is approve the PLTW Medical Interventions course for students in grades 9 through 12. We had a correction before the meeting as to one of the wordings. Okay, approve the PLTW medical interventions course for students in grades 9 through 12. Motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approve the PLTW Biomedical Innovations course for students in grades 9 through 12. Need a motion?
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This one is, I need a motion to adopt the initial proposal for collective bargaining between Roland Unified School District and the California School Employees Association. Motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is, I need a motion to receive the initial proposal for collective bargaining between the Roland Unified School District and the California School Employees Association.
Make a motion.
This is the same.
Make a motion.
I'll second. Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we have, receive a second reading and approval of Board Policy 1312.3 Uniform Complaint Procedure. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, receive for first reading and discussion revised board bylaw 9110, terms of office. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed? Oh, I'm sorry. The motion to receive passed. Sorry, it wasn't an approval, it was a reception. Next is, this is another one to receive for first reading and discussion revised board policy 9220, governing board elections. May I have a motion to receive? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is, receive for first reading and discussion revised board bylaws 9320, meetings and notices. May I have a motion to receive? Second? Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, receive and review the meeting schedule for the 2017 through 2018 school year, with the meeting day of the week moved to being predominantly on Thursdays, and the starting time moved to 6 p.m. May I have a motion to receive?
I move.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I have a question about one of the dates, if we could possibly change the December 14th. Wait, November 9th. Oh my goodness, now I forgot. Yeah, November 9th, I'm sorry.
I think we're not doing the calendar, we're just doing a bylaw revision, isn't that correct?
Actually, this would be the time for the board to comment on these dates during the discussion, because this is just to receive for review and for feedback. So if there are dates that are published that are present a conflict for any of the board members, it would be respectfully requested to share that information now.
I apologize, you're right. It's the calendar, it's the schedule.
So November 9th, I was wondering if we could do it a week later, because I planned something around our Tuesday schedule. We changed it to Thursday, which means I would not be able to make that, and I really want to make make all the board meetings, so instead of November 9th, possibly November 16th, or another date that other people could make. If that would be possible.
The 16th does not present a conflict on the district's calendar, but it's the board needs to look at their own individual calendars.
So it's November, Ms. Friedman?
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking for us to meet the 16th, the 9th?
Change the 9th
Change
to whatever's good for the board.
Honestly, at this point, it's too early for me to say because I don't know what my semester is going to look like once work starts for the fall. I don't know what nights I'll have classes on or anything, so.
Would that same potential conflict be for the 9th? Because you won't have that as well?
Because when we talked first about the 9th, I put in my calendar, for Tuesdays and Thursdays, just in case,
Perfect.
for the second week.
How about you, Mr. Malcolm, any problem?
Is it the December? Oh, you guys, when, was it November or December now?
November.
Okay.
So the question is, can we move it from the 9th to another week?
Or another day.
Another day. How is your schedule, Mr. Malcolm?
Right now, it looks like it's okay.
For the 16th?
For the 16th and, football.
Mr. Chen, how is
I am okay.
I'm okay. And you said the district is okay, and Angelina?
I don't know. It could be a possibility that I wouldn't be here. It depends on work schedule.
My suggestion is we go ahead and, move this, I go ahead and, adopt the schedule. We can always change AD, can't we?
Correct, so we're not adopting tonight, this is just for review to have this conversation about potential conflicts. We could look at if there's other dates. I think, Ms. Pryor, you shared that you could the Tuesday and the Thursday, so potentially to look at the 7th of November, which is the Tuesday of that same week. My only concern with the 7th would be, that's election day. And we moved it off of election day
I
last
won't be
year.
back till the 10th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is an odd
The 10th
year.
will come back.
This is an odd year. There might not be. And
Yeah, I don't know.
how soon will you know?
Not until we put together our fall schedule, which we don't do in my department until probably July, into July.
Okay, well then I'll need somebody to rescind the motion.
It's still a discussion
Oh,
item, so we're okay. So I need direction from the board if it's desired that we leave it on the 9th or that we move it to the 16th, knowing that there's some potential conflicts. There's a conflict with one board member on the 9th, there's a potential conflict with another board member on the 16th. So we can also look at a different date. We're dark, our district calendar is dark the week of Thanksgiving, so the 20th through the 24th. So that would not be a week we could move it to. So we can look at potentially a different date. It sounds though with the work schedule and with some prearranged other obligations that we have, we need to look at which date might we choose, and we can change the date if we need to. But as we get closer to November, nobody's calendar is going to clear. They're going to get more complicated from here on out.
So we have a motion on the floor to accept the review.
Correct. So we just have this discussion. So if there's any direction from the board in terms of maintain the date of the 9th or change it to the 16th, or is there a suggestion of another date?
Do you have the same problem on the 9th, or is that clear?
Honestly,
You
just
don't
with
know.
work, it's too hard for me to tell this early.
We
It's
can always-
March, I have no idea what we're gonna do in November.
The 9th would be okay.
Well, cause I put those days in, yeah, so when we started talking about changing it, I put in the second Tuesday or the second Thursday for board meetings. So they already know that those are the days that I have blocked off.
So, November, just out of clarification, November is a unique calendar because the second Tuesday actually will fall in the third week because it's the 14th. You may have probably put in the 7th. So did you put the 14th in? Do we want to entertain the 14th as a board?
That would be good. 14th of November?
Correct. And it's a Tuesday, so
14th
it's,
is
you know,
Tuesday.
it breaks the convention that we've discussed. Again, it's the privilege of the board. The 9th is, it can be whatever the board would like for us to look at.
I have put that one off on my work calendar, so.
You have it? You have it blocked out?
Yeah, the second Tuesday and the second Thursdays until we approve this, because once we approve this, then I'm taking the Tuesdays off, so I can work.
Okay, we still need to rescind the motion to review.
It's just the direction. So where would the board like?
Can we change it to November 14th? How does the board feel about that?
The 14th is when the water board meets.
Conflict.
But you're not on the water board.
No, I'm not on it.
Get the report from Terry.
Yeah. I just have to get it off.
So the suggestion is we change it to the 14th for that one.
Really appreciate it.
So that the direction, is that we have for staff to change the date to the 14th?
Is that okay with the district calendar?
Yes, let's change it to the 14th.
Thanks. Does staff, I don't see a conflict on our district calendar. Do either of the three of you see a conflict with November 14th on the district calendar? I am. All right. That would work with us.
Thank
So
you very
I can
much.
make that, so we're not approving this calendar this evening, but I will make that adjustment. And when this comes back to the board again, I'll make that adjustment to November 14th. And again, if it needs to be altered at that time, we can have that conversation again.
So we have a motion on the floor. We have to rescind it. We're gonna put that in.
It was
Change.
It was to receive for discussion, for first reading discussion. So we're not adopting it.
So we can still vote on it?
Okay. To receive it.
All right, we've added, we've changed the 9th of November to the 14th of November for our board meeting date. And I need let's vote.
Any other conflicts? And if there's not even, I think you can do it.
I asked him for a motion.
It's just to receive it for discussion.
Okay.
Are there any other dates?
Any other dates?
You can, then you receive it with that amendment.
Okay. So, okay. I need to have a rescinded motion. Could you please rescind the motion?
I didn't do
Who made the motion?
I don't know, was it me? If it was me, I rescind. I think it was me.
And somebody rescind the second?
I resent it.
Okay. So now, we have a motion to. Okay, let's have a new motion then, to receive the, board meeting schedule for 2017-18 as changed. Those in favor?
You need a new motion?
Oh, I'm sorry, I need a motion to do that. Can I have a motion?
I'll move.
I second with the change.
Okay, more discussion?
No, but thank you, everybody.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now, we're just received it after all that, and we'll bring it back for discussion. So if you can find out something about your calendars between now and the time it's brought back, please do so. Okay, next, May I have a motion to adopt resolution SO 16-1704, Adult Education Day for March 29th, 2017?
I'll move.
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Pupil personnel. This is a readmission from expulsion. Readmit student 1314:13 to the Roland Unified School District effective March 15, 2017. Motion?
Make a motion.
Oh, excuse me, second? Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is an expulsion. Approve the expulsion of student 16-1708 from all records and programs of Roland Unified School District, effective March 15, 2017, with referral to a county or alternative school outside the district for placement in an educational program. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we're ready for the consent calendar. There are a couple of pulled items. There are 3 pulled items from the consent calendar. Item 10B1, 10C1, and 10C4. May I have a motion to approve the consent calendar with the removal of items 10B1, 10C1, and 10C4? Second? Discussion? Those in favor? Opposed? And then we're going to go to those individual items that were pulled. 10B1. This item is the comprehensive school safety plans, pulled by Mr. Malcolm. May I have a motion to approve? Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, the reason I pulled this was that we're basically approving the plans, and I just would like to make a few comments before I make that vote. I reviewed about 7 of the plans that have been developed by the various schools, and they're all very, very comprehensive. Between 150 to 175 pages, and found out that 99.9% of that material is there because of education code or other related codes that require that those documents be in that resource manual. And I say resource manual because that's really what it is. It's not a manual that in need of emergency or whatever, that you can actually go to that manual to find out what to do in a very timely manner. What I did notice is that the district has adopted a template on how to organize all these documents, but each school site, through their school site council, has developed their own way of organizing, not so much where the items are located, but how they designate the different sections within the manual. Some will have just 3 headings, and that's it. Others will have more complete index. So when you go to the manual, you can find it. This one, it was just outstanding, this one school, where it had it all color-coded. You open the manual up, you saw everything, color-coded, number-coded according to the colors. Very easy to find everything. I would, I would like to see the district go to a more uniform system of developing these manuals, So no matter what school you go to, the manual will be the same, since it is a resource manual, and it's needed, in a timely manner, when there's a incident or something that occurs, that it be located in the same location in the schools. Of course, it would be school site specific, but that it be organized and be organized in a simple manner like this, which would be you're talking about less than $100 to buy some tabs and color code it. Because like I said, all the manuals have the same documents in them. It's just a matter of how you designate those documents within the manual so it's easily retrievable. The other thing is that since this manual has so many documents in it from other manuals, such as board policies, etc., if those policies aren't up to date and they're put into this manual, then this manual is not up to date. And there's a lot of policies in this manual that are 10, 15 years old. Not at the fault of the site council that put the manual together, but because of the other manuals they're getting the policies from. Now, some of those have probably been reviewed, but haven't been designated on the policy that it was reviewed, but it was designated maybe in the manual. But when you look at some of these policies, they're quite old. Some of them, again, are school site specific. I question some of these if they're still current. This was revised 2016. It's a dress code for one of our schools where you can't have you can't have your pants longer than the front of the shoe. You can't have shorts that are go beyond the kneecap. Polo shirts can't have more than 3 buttons or a zipper on them. I realize that there's some gang attire and things like this that we're trying to avoid, but some of these, I don't know if we really enforce these types of dress codes. So I think we need to look at some of those items, some of these manuals. But one of the things I do see in the manuals is some of our outcome data. One of the requirements in the manual is that we have suspensions and expulsion policies. But in addition to the policies, we have our outcome data in the manual. And I'm not too sure why we're putting outcome data in a disaster safety manual. If somebody wants to see the outcome data, then I can see they can ask for it and we can give it to them. But if an outside law enforcement agency or whatever comes in, the sheriff's department, and says, hey, we want to coordinate with your disaster manual, I don't think we should be putting our outcome data up in front like that. I think we should take the outcome data out of those manuals. If anything else, I'll make them a little bit less thick. The other thing is the manual has a log drill in there for all the drills. And there's this one little column on the right-hand side where you put down the date, the drill you did, and whether it took place. And there's one little teeny box where you put down if there was a problem. It's really not an analysis of the drill. I mean, the drill really needs a summary analysis, one page. What went right, what didn't go right, what needs to be changed, and what needs to be improved. And you really can't glean that from that one-page log. And I noticed a lot of the assignments in the manual are done by name of individuals, which is, you can do that. It's just labor intensive. Every time somebody moves or changes school or whatever, you have to change the name of that individual. Just from my experience, we usually do it by location or by title. That way, whoever is in that location or title stays the same, regardless of what their name is. And the other thing is that we have these flip charts, and this is really what makes the whole disaster thing work. And if we keep these up to date, this last time was reviewed in 2014, I think it was. Again, it has names of individuals, I don't know if these people are even still here. But this is really what, is the kind of the reminder of, if you have an evacuation, a lockdown or whatever, you can look at this really quickly and kind of just gives you the pointers. So these are excellent. And I do see these hanging in various locations throughout the district, and these are really good. These we should, I think, expand on and update every year and make sure they're current, and even plastic coat them if possible, and have them, hanging in obvious places where people can see them. But the active safety manual, it has to be approved according to Ed Code. So naturally, I feel like we need to approve these manuals, meet the intent of the Ed Code. But I would be approving them as a work in progress, and hoping that we have a district-wide approach to get some uniformity in these. It wouldn't take that much to do it, because I said the documents are there. It's more how it's put together, and I think then we'd have a better product and more visible product. I don't mean to lecture, just an observation.
Dr. Mitchell, could we vote on this tonight, and then could a committee be formed before we have to approve again, with the consideration that the site councils might want to discuss making some changes?
Sure. So these are reviewed annually by both the site council and by the board. And so the site councils, they've already gone through all of the process for approval from the school site staff and the school site councils and through our Department of Student Services, and then now they're before the board. Mr. Malcolm's absolutely correct that there's a lot of individuality that's in them, because they are locally approved by the local school site council. They are a resource manual. They are not a document which is a plan in terms of what we would do in the event of an emergency. It is a resource manual. Mr. Malcolm's also correct that there are some policies that are in there that are required by Ed Code that are very dated. Many of those are our own board policies.
Yes.
And so, but when we look at our board policy, the law has not changed. So bringing forward those items, there are board policies we bring forward. There were 4 bylaws tonight and 1 policy that you approved. So there are some that are required to be before the board on an annual basis. There are others that come before the board when there's a change in law or a change in our practices or the desire of the board, but others are not. I mean, our board policy book is single page, 4-inch binder of all the different policies that we have. So many of those items that Mr. Malcolm's absolutely correct, dated, but the background reason, the law hasn't changed. So bringing them before the board, there is no change except just to change the date, which is a practice that we do with the board. The idea in terms of having them color-coded and tabbed and those